My name is Wendy, and I would like to share with you tonight my health story, along with give you some great information that I believe could make a huge difference in your health. A little embarrassing and yes, very painful. I'd also like to share some information with you to hopefully give you that chance to gain your life back just like I did, from a book wrote by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Robert O. Young, and his supplements that can help aid in healing yourself and getting your life back. Is something that I think should get out here to public, because what the doctors put us through are just runaround. So I want to share with you my story, and then you can make your own decision on whether you want to check it out or not, but I highly recommend it. Let's see here. When I was a young adult, I guess I suffered from GI tract problems, because it wasn't so much like I had, I was constipated or anything. It was pretty much just horrible fatigue. I'd have this fatigue that would come around and it would stay, 8 months, 12 months, and it would come like every 2 to 3 years. Well, as time went on, it would come sooner, and it also would stay longer, and it would hit harder. And I knew foods had something to do with it, but I really couldn't put my finger on what would, be the good things, safe things to eat, where I didn't have to struggle with fatigue so much, versus the bad things I knew, like sugars were really always a main culprit that, made the fatigue increase. I'd go to the doctors, and the doctors would basically tell me that I was depressed or it was in my head, and they'd try to put me on antidepressant medicines, and that was never a good thing. So I didn't do that. But I realized that as now, looking back, that the fatigue is caused by constipation. Constipation is one of the #1 things to look at when you're having fatigue. So I didn't realize that until just recently. I had heard it on one of the doctor shows that they have, but good thing for me to know now. I suffered for a good 20 years struggling with that back and forth. In December of 2004, it was right around Christmas, I remember specifically, that I started getting this body heat, and it would last for hours. I thought at first that maybe it was like hot flashes, but those only last 3 to 7 minutes from what I hear. So that just kind of continued, and it'd come and go, and then that following 2005 in July, constipation was showing up now, as far as every other day, bowel movement, hard to go, but also the fatigue was coming back, and on top of the body heat that was there. So I just kind of struggled on, and still go to the doctors, and the doctors would still tell me nothing. So when I had the energy and stuff, I would try to research to find out what was going on with myself, but didn't really find much. And the exhaustion doesn't really leave a person to the point where they really want to be looking and reading in a book and have the patience to do that. But let's see here, 2006, April, I remember that one too. It was like Easter time, and everything hit really hard. Matter of fact, I remember spending the whole Easter in bed, because just getting up out of bed to go get a cup of coffee was horribly, you'd have thought I ran a marathon. Constipation really wasn't much worse at this point. Body heat was tremendous, and I knew drinking water really helped. It helped soothe it for a little while, but not to the point where I could be very functional. I spent pretty much the whole summer on the couch. I didn't work, and I struggled until, just struggling struggling in and out of the doctors, in and out of the emergency room. Nobody, finally, they did tell me that I was constipated, and then, and the reason why you asked probably, like, well, wasn't I having abdominal pain? And it was like, yeah, but I was having female problems at the same time, so I really, I knew it was in that lower extremity, but I guess I didn't think much of the whole constipation thing. I never heard it was it could ever get as bad as it did. So to make a long story short, when, you know, things started getting really bad, then I went to my GI tract doctor and had a colonoscopy, and he told me that the colon was beautiful, that he'd never seen such a nice colon. But since I was having, you know, a hard time going and stuff, he put me on Miralax. Well, so at that point I pretty much figured, okay, it's not the colon, anything to do with that. It'll be a quick fix. Since I had polyps and stuff going on in the uterus and stuff, I had a hysterectomy. And that was at the end of July of 2009. 2008, I'm sorry. And then, so that was in July. And then the end of November, still in that same year, that Miralax just wasn't working and things weren't moving very much at all. And then the middle of the summer there, everything just stopped. The Miralax didn't do a thing for me. And boy, let me tell you, talk about panic and in pain. And, you know, if the doctors don't know what to do for you, at that point he tried putting me on Amitiza and Miralax at the same time, but still nothing moved whatsoever. So he ran a few other tests, and the intestine was so lazy, I got promoted into a surgeon. And the surgeon basically said that he would do surgery on me. He would remove the large intestine and then connect the small intestine to the rectum. The only problem there is only 1/3% chance it would be a success, a surgery. 1/3% chance the surgery would accomplish nothing, and then 1/3% chance I'd be wearing a colostomy bag for the rest of my life. Yeah, talk about struggle and pain and worry. As it was, I mean, I wasn't able to eat. Nothing going in, nothing coming out. I mean, I went from a healthy 135-pound woman down to 108 pounds. The skin underneath my arms was drooping. On my backside, it was drooping. And I was a mess. Thank goodness, the middle of December, where everything was shutting down and not working at all, as far as the Miralax and the Amitiza, a gal at work had given me this book, Sick and Tired. Sick and Tired by Dr. Robert O. Young. And it was his theory that, you know, as soon as I read it, from what little research that I had done, I knew that he had something that I had to try. And so I ordered his product, Super Greens, right away. And so when I had gotten out of the surgeon's office that day, you know, I figured it was either the greens or nothing. I had scheduled to go to an acupuncture gal and stuff, but the Super Greens had worked so well that I didn't have to. As a matter of fact, you know, I kind of had to convince my fiance into not going to the acupuncture, that I did believe that the Super Greens were going to work. And they did. And what a phenomenal, phenomenal product. I mean, not only is the intestine starting to work again, I've gained up to 121.5 proud pounds that I am now, and I'm not in a size 1 anymore. So if you have intestinal problems, or if you have other health issues, get the book. Dr. Young also has 3 other books, and it's called The pH Miracle, The pH of Weight Loss, and The pH of Diabetes. And he believes it's one sickness, one disease. And before, you know, I wasn't quite sure with that as far as one disease, one sickness, you know. But now that I am where I am today, I truly believe that Dr. Young has it right. And it's a shame that the nation doesn't know the information that Dr. Young talks about. because if they did, and our children and whatnot and parents knew about it, then there wouldn't be the sickness that there is out there today. My heart breaks for people out there. I wish I could tell everybody just what it's all about. So here I am, I guess.